What's going on, everybody? I'm James with Southside Dents and Cosmetics, and today we're working on a 2023 Hyundai Santa Fe. The dent that we're working on is right here on the edge of this door, and as you can tell from the inside of this door, our access is going to be tight because the edge of the door actually stops 2 to 3 inches before we get to that dent. So this dent is actually located between two pieces of metal that are kind of sandwiched together. So I'm going to go after this dent using some very small and skinny tools to try to get in between those two pieces of metal and push this dent up from the back side. In the video, I think you'll see me use 4 or 5 different tools to try to get good, clean access to this dent and push it up. And now for the dent itself, this dent is a little bit deeper than most of the stuff that I work on. If you go back to the beginning of the video, you can really see the depth of this dent. It looks like it got hit by like a BB or something like that. It's not too sharp, but it is pretty deep. So I know that it's going to take a lot of work to get this metal up, especially at the center of this dent. Another thing that you're going to notice is I'm changing my light board and my body position a lot, just trying to get on both sides of this dent, see it from both angles. And as I change where my line board is, the reflection of the dent changes. And so I get to see a little bit of the dent from every single angle and can make sure that I'm working it all up at the same time, not leaving any high spots in it or anything like that. And I'll probably adjust this board a handful of more times as the dent's shape changes while it comes up. Yeah, right there, you can really see how deep this dent is and just how much of it I've got left to push up. Now this video is sped up 4.5 times, and so the repair really took me quite a long time for the size of this dent, but the size wasn't what the challenge was. The access that we had to push the dent from the backside and the depth of the dent was what was challenging. So every time you see these lines kind of pinch together, that's me making a push. And as you can tell, I'm pushing this thing pretty hard to try to get the metal up, but I'm really struggling to find the right tool to hit the dead center of this dent and stay on it. And the dent just doesn't want to come up as I'm pushing it. So I know here in a bit I'm going to have to do some knocking down. I'll probably knock down the shoulders of this dent and then go right back into pushing, changing my line board, the position of it as I go, and try to do everything that I can to get this metal back up. And right here, I feel like I'm doing a good job of finding the middle of this dent and pushing where I want to push, but it's just being pretty stubborn. And so I'll switch to a hammer and knock down, and I'm going to knock down the edges of this dent. And so what this does, whenever you knock down, you're releasing some of the tension out of the middle. As you push the metal up, even if you're pushing the center, more metal might move than what you want. And so the dent kind of gets some shoulders on it. And those shoulders hold tension. And so as you knock the dent back down, it shallows it out. Everything kind of lays back even. And then you've got a good shot of bringing up the middle of a dent that's got some depth. And it takes a couple of times to do this. You don't just push once, knock the shoulders down, and then do your finishing pushes. It's some back and forth work that goes into this. Once again, every time these lines come together, that's me making a push. And as you can tell from how much movement there is in those lines, I'm making some pretty strong pushes. Here, the dent kind of came up, but it was high, so I go to knock it down and reset it, and this is what we're left with. It's just a small low spot that I'm going to push up, and then we'll start to see some inconsistencies in the lines themselves, like single lines, and those are micro lows that need to be pushed up. So we're going to take care of what I would call the texture of this now that the majority of the metal is up, and then we'll take a look and see where we're at with this. So here's what the dent is looking like now. There's a little bit of dirt on it from my knockdown and a little bit of texture in it that I need to wet sand and buff out. Phone was getting low on battery, so I at least wanted to capture what it looked like here before I wrapped up and left. I'm James, once again, with Southside Dents and Cosmetics. We do dent repair in the Hampton Roads area, and if you need us, all of our info is in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, guys.